reminder of how much we juggle. The big moment is almost here, but before we recognize our winners, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the people who probably had the hardest job in the world, the selection committee. If they could all stand for a moment, we want to thank you for all your hard work, going over all these great accomplishments. Thank you so much. We appreciate your service. And now the moment we've been waiting for. Our 2020 Athena Award recipients. First, let's turn to the screen a little bit more about our young professional finalists tonight. I'd like to ask for our presenters to come up. That would be from the Simon School, our presenting sponsor, Molly Mesko, our program hosts, Bob Duffy and Stephanie Seifert, and our Athena Young Professional Award sponsor, Nicole Malik. Could you please come up and help with the presentation? Okay, Stephanie, I just want to say, now I know how you broke the glass ceiling. Did you see her heels? They're glass, Cinderella style. That may be the official shoe of the Athena Awards now, all right? And now, our Athena Young Professional Award recipient of 2020. This woman serves as the 5th generation owner and CEO of her family business. She started in the office environment and then transitioned to sales. While both her grandfather and mother were still at the company in 2005, she was named vice president and took over as president in 2009. And in 2015, the board of directors named her the CEO. Under her leadership, the company expanded 2 times and has grown in product diversification, sales, and employees. It is guided by 4 core values: quality, caring, accountability, and integrity. This recipient is committed to the community where she lives. She sits on the boards of the MCC Foundation, ESL, the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, Holy Childhood, and Special Touch Bakery. She is a strong supporter of the Golisano Children's Hospital, the Susan B. Anthony House, the United Way, and the Strong. She is also a current member of the Vistage organization. Julie Camardo's, most importantly, Julie Camardo's favorite hot dog is the white hot dog from Zweigels. Please welcome up our 2020 Rochester Chamber Athena Young Professional Award recipient.
Honestly, just wow. Thank you. And thank you for the acknowledgments. We are proud to be an iconic brand in the Rochester community. Whoa, unbelievable. Thank you to the Rochester Women's Council and the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce for this very distinguished honor, let alone to kind of sneak in as a young Athena nominee. Sincere congratulations to all the women nominated here tonight. You are all amazing and well-deserving. Thank you to the sponsors, for without you, this event would not be possible. And thank you to my family, to my daughters who are here tonight, my Zweigels family, my friends, colleagues, and the Rochester community. It has been quite a journey these past few years, and words cannot express what this recognition means to me. As I reflect on 140 years of Zweigels, it's a long time, I feel really blessed to have the good fortune of learning from the Zweigels women that came before me. And each of the 4 prior generations, there was a Zweigel woman behind the scenes at the forefront, helping to lay the foundation for the success we are experiencing today. I'd like to share with you the gifts they have passed on to me, directly or through stories, of their courage, dependability, kindness, and strength. The first generation, my great-great-grandmother, Josephine Zweigel, passed on to me the spirit of courage that has helped motivate me to face life's challenges head-on. After her husband, Wilhelm, passed away, just 3 years after Zweigel started, Josephine found herself a young, single mother of 4 children between the ages of 9 and 1, or 1 and 9, I should say. At the time when women were not accepted as business owners, Josephine exemplified what it means to be courageous. She found a way to keep the business going and keeping her young family afloat. She taught her children to persevere, overcome their challenges, and strive for something greater. The second generation, my great-grandmother, Minnie Zweigel, not to be confused with Minnie Mouse, the oldest daughter of Josephine and Wilhelm, gave me the gift of responsibility. Only 9 years old when her father passed away, Minnie quickly was tasked with the responsibility of helping her mother raise her siblings. And later, she had the responsibility of working in the family business while raising a family of her own. Throughout her life, she demonstrated willingness to accept new responsibilities and sacrificing her personal time for the benefit of others. She took on the responsibility of ensuring my grandfather, Bob Burl, was well educated and received a college degree, carrying on the family business for Zweigels. And in doing so, she instilled in him a sense of responsibility. In the third generation, my grandmother, Elizabeth Burl, passed on to me the joy of caring for others. Her husband, Bob Burl, and her brother, Don Barbado, were partners in Don and Bob's, a restaurant. Some of you may have been. And caring for both businesses. She cared deeply for the success of both Zweigels and Don's Original. And at times, she would work for Zweigels and then also was in the evening working for Don and Bob's. She was a loving wife, a mother, daughter, daughter-in-law. And at one point in her life, her father and father-in-law both lived with her in her home as she dutifully cared for both of them while raising my mother, Roberta. Betty, also known as Betty, she was a selfless person and always put others before herself. My mother, Roberta, the 4th generation, gave me the gift of strength. Throughout her life, she demonstrated the strength and courage to overcome adversity. As young women, she found the courage to leave an abusive marriage and later found love again and married my father. Without a college degree, my mother demonstrated the strength to carry on the family business while raising my sister and myself. And most importantly, she found the strength to endure my teenage years. I mean, I was really the mercy girl. Through her battle with cancer, she demonstrated her strength and courage to fight a terrible disease while remaining at the helm of the family business. And throughout my life, she's been an inspiration to me, challenging me to be the best I can. Through her example and continuous support, she gave me the strength I needed to pursue my dream and carry on this amazing legacy. And as the 5th generation owner of Zweigels and a single mother of 3, I offer my gift of power. The power to believe in yourself and speak up when faced with adversity. The power to openly feel and express both positive and negative emotions, and the power to allow yourself to be vulnerable be successful and appreciate the success you have achieved. The power to support and lift others and be a force for doing good as a leader of the community. You have the power to be exactly who you want to be a white hot when everyone else is a red hot. You have the power to be gracious and kind and be thankful for all your many blessings. You have the power because of those that came before you. You are courageous. Remember, you are responsible for others. Care for your family, your friends, your community. Find your inner strength and be powerful. Thank you.
Congratulations again, Julie, and thank you for honoring the legacy of the women at Zweigels, all they meant to you and all you've done for them. And now I'd like to ask up Annette Nocon to join us for the ATHENA Organizational Award sponsor on the stage. Thank you, Annette, for your sponsorship on this. And let's turn to the screens to see a little bit more about our finalists in this category. And now, our 2020 ATHENA Organizational Award recipient. In an industry historically dominated by male workers and leaders, this year's ATHENA Organizational Award recipient has bucked the trend for more than 20 years. This organization, you think you know who it is, huh? This organization opened in 1998 in Rochester with a goal to not only deliver great results to its clients, but to instill a corporate culture built to cultivate the advancement of women. Since 2004, it has been a nationally certified and New York State certified women-owned business. In a strategic decision to ensure all of its employees could share in the success of the company, the founders sold the company to employees in 2014, officially making it a 100% employee-owned ESOP, giving every employee a greater share and stake in the agency's collective success. It is home to over 150 employees, of which 65% are female. It remains headquartered in Rochester and has added satellite offices in New York City and San Francisco. With a strong women leadership team, Butler Till Media Services has experienced double-digit revenue increases. Ladies and gentlemen, the President and CEO of Butler Till, Kimberly Jones. Make this super brief because there's no way I could top Julie. I should just say ditto, but I do want to accept this award on behalf of that table right up there and all of our amazing employee owners.
We have a purpose at our agency, and that is to create connections and make a difference. And this award really signifies our commitment to making a difference in the lives of women, the women who work for us, the women who work with us, and all of the women in the community. And we are just so proud to follow in the footsteps of our amazing founders, Sue Butler and Tracy Till, who started our agency more than 20 years ago with these values. And I couldn't be more proud to carry on their vision for the next 20 years and beyond. So thank you so much to the Chamber, to the Women's Council, to all of the amazing nominees, finalists. You guys are inspirational, and I just want to thank all of the women in the room tonight. You are all what makes Rochester the best place to live and work. So thank you.
Congratulations, Kimberly and the whole team at Butler Till Media. And thank you, Nanette, for helping us out with that. And finally, before we announce our 2020 Athena Award recipient, let's turn to the screens one more time to acknowledge this outstanding class of women.
Starting at age 5, many girls begin to develop limiting self-beliefs.
They stop believing their gender can do or be anything.
Engineers,
Presidents, scientists, CEOs,
and leaders.
They stop believing women can change the world.
The 2020 Athena Award finalists
have defied such gender stereotypes on their paths to becoming women of impact in both business and in the community.
May our stories and achievements inspire young women looking to achieve dreams of their own.
It is crucial for young women to be inspired by local success so that they can dream big
and find the power that's within us all.
So today we recognize female accomplishments
to inspire future generations and to celebrate brilliant women being brilliant.
Confidence is the most important thing. I have tried to instill confidence in my girls from a very young age. They have to believe that they can do anything, and anything we can do to help instill confidence. And I believe that's why if they become more self-aware of their strengths, they will be more confident instead of focusing on their weaknesses.
It's important for others to have confidence in young leaders. I know as I began my career, certain of the mentors that I had more confidence in me at certain moments than I had in myself. The word independent could not exist without the word dependent. Remember that you are always dependent on others as you stand in your glory.
If I could go back and tell my younger self something, that's definitely what I'd say. Be confident. And when you hit a roadblock, it's just a detour to a better path. But you have to have that confidence to know that and do that.
You have the ability to draw people in, to be noticed, and you can do that in a very positive way. So if you recognize that you are going to be remembered and you do good things, you will not just be remembered, you'll be remembered for doing good things. And so your network will grow and people will see you as a really positive and good influence.
One of the best pieces of advice I had was from a gentleman who, when I first got invited to the senior leadership table, brought me up from the very back of the table and said, if you put yourself in the back, you're going to stay in the back. And encouraged me to come up and sit up higher at the table, even though I was one of the only women in the room. And I think that that's a very important piece of advice for people. It's like, if you put yourself in the back, you're going to stay in the back. So don't do that.
The first time I walked into the room as a labor lawyer, no one expected a 20-something blonde female to walk into the room, and I could see the surprise in the faces of the people on the other side of the table, and I just embraced it and walked in with confidence. Here's who I am, and let them be uncomfortable because it was their issue, not mine.
Trying to create a space out of a place that's not you will only set you up to be frustrated and to not fulfill the call that you're a part of and that you're supposed to be a part of. And so my best advice is don't change who you are. Know who you are and then lead from that space, because in that space you will flourish and your communities you lead will love who you are and how you lead and will follow that because you're not pretending to be something you're not.
Having people who believe in you, I think, is really, really important. And if you don't have that naturally, organically, then you need to seek it out. And I would encourage any new leader to get involved. There's many different organizations in Rochester. We're fortunate to have them. And that's where I would start.
It's so important to enjoy what you're doing while you do it. So the twofold advice that I would give is to relax and enjoy it. Don't be so hard on yourself and never give up.
Throw your hesitation and your doubts out the window. Be bold, follow your passion, and remember to always lift another woman up.
Don't let your gender determine your objectives or your goals. You should determine what those goals are and then go ahead and achieve them. In order to be successful, I think you need to know where you want to be, know what's important to you, and then you have to work hard.
If you can, trust yourself when others doubt you, but make allowances for the doubting too. If you can try the untried, push yourself to a place not yet occupied. Yours will be all that life has to hold. And once more, you will win not the bronze, not the silver medal, but the gold.
I'm so optimistic about the future because I have wonderful students on my campus who every day teach me what leadership looks like. They are leaders not because of a rank, but because of a choice that they've made to go out there and to lead other students. Women across the campus and women across Greater Rochester are going to do great things, and the generation coming behind us are probably the most exciting generation for us to see.
The quality that I admire in the young women I see today is a fearlessness about speaking up for themselves. I would say decades ago, this wasn't an acceptable practice for women to step forward and sort of take on leadership identities or leadership responsibilities. And now I see so many young women from undergraduates and graduate students, and it makes us tremendously proud.
What I feel the most optimistic about with our younger female leaders is the potential that I see every single day. They are driven, they are motivated, they are dedicated, and I learn so much from each of them. They care deeply about the environment, about their community, and it is wonderful to be a part of that, and I know that that will be the future of Rochester.
Just a few of the reasons why they are outstanding leaders. Let those words sink in for a moment. As you can see, the selection committee had a really tough job. And now it's my job to tell you who the 2020 Athena International Award recipient is. In her first year as the leader of her organization in 2015, our Athena International Award recipient faced a structural budget deficit that spurred a strong commitment to shared governance to solve the problem, a way of inclusive thinking and action that carries on to this day. A colleague has called her a facilitator of creative thought who has a decisive and empowering leadership style that allows others to run with their ideas while offering supportive guidance. She has 25 years of experience in higher education as an English professor and administrator in both the United States and England, having previously held positions of provost, pro-vice chancellor, and dean. She has written or edited 7 books, including a 3-volume encyclopedia set. I didn't know you could do that. She has held a number of positions on national education bodies and volunteer boards in the UK, Wisconsin, and New York. Currently, she serves on the boards of the Rochester, Monroe County YWCA, the Greater Rochester Chamber of Commerce, the Willow Domestic Violence Center, the United Way of Greater Rochester, and Rock the Future Conveners Group. For the YWCA, she chairs the nominating committee tasked with recruiting and retaining a diverse board of community-minded women. In addition, she was recently named co-chair of the Finger Lakes Regional Economic Development Council. Here she comes. It's awfully presumptive of you. I got a lot more to read. Dr. Heidi McPherson is often asked to speak about women's leadership. Okay, so you figured it out. I still had more, Heidi. I had a lot more, but please, this podium is all yours. Congratulations.
Oh my goodness. So yesterday, I was talking to my team and I said, do I need to write a speech for tomorrow? And they said, we've seen the list of nominations, you do not need to write a speech. Thanks, team, thanks. But I understand what they meant, because Rochester is full of astounding women who are leaders in their fields. We are so fortunate to be in a region that celebrates women, not just once, but over and over and over again, because there are so many women to celebrate. From our college and university leaders to leaders in healthcare, the nonprofit world, and in business, we are rich and blessed with talent, and I'm so honored to be counted amongst these wonderful women today. When I was a little girl, my mom started almost every conversation with me with these words: when you go to college. It didn't really matter what the second part of that sentence was. It might be you find your passion, you'll understand your voice, you'll meet your best friends in your life. It didn't actually matter, that second part. The most important part, even though that second part was always true, the most important part was the first part, when you go to college. My mother knew the importance of setting expectations. She set the expectation of me, but I'm sure she didn't really know at the time that meant I was never, ever going to leave college. But thank goodness for that advice, because I can't think of a higher calling than safeguarding the academic mission of SUNY Brockport. So I want to thank my mother, Judy Clayton, for her foresight and her support. I want to thank my dad, Bob Sludidall, because as a father of 3 little girls, he never once told us we couldn't do something because we were girls. He said we could, and he expected it of us. Expectations, set early, they become the goal and the vision. And I'm thankful for my 2 wonderful sisters, my wonderful and talented sisters, Jill Winter and Amy Northrup, who have supported me all my life. In fact, my sister Jill is here with us today, all the way from Kentucky. Thank you so much for being here today, Jill. To my partner of over 30 years, Alan McPherson, I am blessed to have you in my life. I am so grateful to you. You are the best husband I could ever imagine. You are my best friend. You are my closest ally. You are my confidant. You are my strongest supporter. You are amazing, and I love you. To my wonderful team at Brockport, thank you for coming out in force tonight, and for all the work that you do to build meaningful lives and vibrant communities, for leading by example, and for your dedication to student success, which is at the heart of all that we do. To all the women and men who have mentored me in leadership, perhaps even those who have mentored me best by showing me what not to do, I thank you for the leadership lessons you have offered. The good mentors, Janet Beer, Janice Wardle, David Ash, I will call out by name. The bad examples can remain anonymous. Finally, thank you to the Women's Council and to the Chamber for this great honor. I will do everything in my power to deserve it. Thank you.
you.